Faithletic, the podcast, back on our traditional Thursday night show. The hottest podcast going today. The show of shows. It's Faithletic, the podcast with
Gunslinger and
Casey.
that was corny. I loved it.
Coach, somebody got out of line there.
Hey,
You
well,
got jumped.
I
You
did. I got cut in line.
got
Cut in line.
that's
Feel like
too
I'm at
bad.
Walmart.
false
That
start
is great.
I
on
was
the gunslinger.
That's a
Hey,
5-yard penalty.
That's what happens when you give me control of the
Lost it
computer.
down. Oh, wait, man. Maybe not lost it down.
No, it's just
I no longer pay attention to you.
Yeah,
I
like,
just-
apparently not. Welcome back, guys. It's our.
Wait,
it's.
so who are you?
I'm Coach,
Okay, good. I'm Gunslinger.
and
I'm KC.
I've got
Okay,
my
there we
little.
go.
I got my little Faithletic thing kind of going over my head there. I'll have to fix that here in a minute. A little logo.
Yeah, well.
thing.
At least we
You can
figured
I'm
out,
taller than I normally am.
At least we figured out who you were. That's really all.
Maybe
that
I should
matters.
move in closer or something. I
Yeah,
don't.
do we need to get you a smaller chair?
Maybe. It's the first time I've ever been too tall. Wonders never cease.
Too tall, Dan.
Too tall doesn't rhyme.
No,
Too tall, Coach.
Jones.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't take.
No,
Doesn't take.
no.
So.
I can't
Yeah, let's
believe
talk
I
about
screwed
something for a
that up.
second. This ought to be something we could lead into for a moment.
Yeah, go.
So, nicknames that we've had in our lifetimes, and I've got more than you guys probably because I've been around longer.
I don't know. I was in the military.
Yeah,
Got
you
lost
might have had.
all
Now,
the time.
got to keep them clean.
Yeah, well.
Okay. Been in the military.
Okay,
Kyle,
we'll try.
I know a
So-
couple of yours.
So my nickname, like when I was little, was KC.
Yeah.
Most people called me Cookie more than they called me Kyle.
Cookie.
From the time I was in 5th grade to the time I was after college, probably until I moved to Oklahoma, that people almost exclusively called me Cookie. And then my dad called me Keeks growing up.
Keeks.
Wow.
And
What's
my
that
mom, from the basketball player Kiki Vandeweghe.
I don't even know who that is.
Okay, so he's an old basketball player for the Nuggets.
Okay.
And my dad thought that was just the funniest name, Kiki Vandeweghe.
Kiki Vandeweghe. That was a real name.
And so he would walk in the door coming home from work and Kiki Vandeweghe as I'd walk in. And so that stuck. That has stuck for years within my family. So pretty much my parents call me Keek still. So there you go.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. See, Dan's got control of the computer now. He's messing things up.
Oh no.
That's what happens, Coach.
Gunslinger, what are some of your nicknames?
Oh, there are many. Let's see. My first was given by my dad. He called me Juice. Still does. I've got a lot of friends that still call me Juice. That was my first call sign in the military was Juice.
All right.
I soon became PITA, P-I-T-A.
For
It's
the,
an
like the
acronym.
bread?
No, it's for pain in.
Oh, I got you.
Anyway, and then the one that I've had. Well, okay, let's see. I had LT. Because I was a
Lawrence.
lieutenant, and also that was my operating initials. And then my one that I've had throughout, and I still use for the FAA now is Oz. O-Z,
Oz.
yeah.
As in.
So there's people
wizard.
that call in the middle of the night when I'm working in the middle of the night, and they're like, "Oh, it's the wizard."
I like that, though.
You know what?
Oz.
We might have to go with that.
That's pretty.
The
legit.
wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that for 20 years now. And while deployed, my official call sign was Gunslinger.
There we go.
2.
Hence we are.
Gunslinger 2.
Well, you're number one here.
Okay.
Number one in our hearts. Number one.
The Gunslinger, the Wizard, whatever you want to call me. PETA, whatever.
You can.
How about Coach?
Well, that's one of them. So I've had several, but you got to remember through the phases. So when I was in junior high, it was Speedy.
Really?
Well, because I always walked really fast to class. I don't know why. I just
I was going to say, you don't strike me as a fast guy.
well,
No
I
offense.
was back, 50 years ago or 45 years ago. And I'm still pretty fast. I haven't ran in a while,
You know
but I used
what?
to be pretty fast.
We're racing after this.
Yeah.
Let's
well,
do it.
Yeah.
Gosh.
And then
I don't know,
I'll throw up this icy. It'll be awesome.
You'll both need to sign a waiver.
Actually, I have a waiver or two over here, so I could probably make do. So junior high was Speedy. High school was Elrod.
Elrod.
Yep. So I was an athletic trainer. It was my sophomore year. And the seniors were kind of like, who are you, man? What's your name? All that stuff, Dan. And I gave the guy like a pair of socks that he didn't like. And he says, no, that ain't going to work. And I think he meant to say Elroy from the Jetsons, but he said Elrod. And it stuck.
All
So
right.
all through high school, it was Elrod.
Elrod, huh? Interesting.
And then when I got to college as an athletic trainer, I was called Dr. Dan.
Ooh, the doc.
Most of your friends from
The doc.
college that I've noticed that have maybe come on this show call you Danny.
Yeah, that's because that's my given name.
Yes. So
Most
Well,
people, most people that know me before I was 25 years old know me as Danny.
Danny. Yes.
And then I grew up and went to Dan.
I don't know. Danny's pretty great though.
Yeah, well, that's
There's
okay.
Nothing wrong with Dan.
No, that's my given name.
Yeah, I got you.
And now it's Coach, and it's kind of been that way for
Coach.
What was the one before Coach you just said? Not Danny.
Dr. Dan.
Doctor. The doctor. That's
Dr.
it.
Dan.
Doctor.
Dr. Dan.
Dr. Coach.
So anyway,
Yeah.
that's
I mean, Dr. Dan had is a Hall of Fame, two-time Hall of Famer.
yeah, it's right up there.
It's right there.
Well, one of them's over here too, but I've been kicked out of that one. I am a two-time Hall of Famer, but I got.
Two-time Hall of
I'm like
Famer.
Pete Rose.
Were you
Two-time.
kicked out for
Two-time.
blood doping?
No,
Okay.
I was kicked out for something really stupid. But that's a whole nother show.
Well, no.
Oh,
no.
no.
I may have
no. You
I may have
can't-
to wait.
You got to at least give us a preview.
Hmm.
Did it involve gambling?
It did not.
Not the coach. Okay. You don't.
I don't. I'm good talking about it. I just don't want to create. I've been very silent over this. This was created about a year and a half ago, and I was very adamant about my team not making comments social media,
Sure.
on the reasoning or what their objections were. And I've tried to take the high road or the low road?
The high road.
Take
high road.
take
Yeah.
the high road and just not comment. And I'm not really prepared to do that. I want to keep it professional.
Sure,
Hey.
sure.
I want to be respectful of the organization that I was a part of for over 30 years. I still have a lot of friends. I still have a great deal of pride in what I did for that organization.
Sure.
And I don't want to taint it. And
Well, then don't.
maybe one day, maybe
It's all good.
maybe I'll write a book. I've always wanted to write a book. You know, I was adopted, and I've always wanted to write a book kind of about being adopted and the life I've led,
Sure.
and then tie that all into some of the stories that I've, come across and people I've met over the last, 50 years
Did
plus.
you ever track down the birth parents, anything like that?
had never had 1 ounce of desire to do so.
Okay. You know what? It's like 50-50.
Yeah.
There's some
That
that
is
just,
true.
it's
That's
a mission, they have to,
Yep.
and others are like, I don't even want to.
I felt loved by my parents and always felt like they were my mom and my dad. So I've never had, and that's kind of one of the things I want to write the book about, is I've never had any desire to know who my real parents are. Not even, I've got the information if I wanted to go. I don't know who they are, but I have enough information I could probably track them down. My sister, on the other hand, has found her and met her biological mother, but we're different as far as we know biological parents. But I've never had any desire to.
That right off the bat, we're speaking to the faith part of
Yeah.
the show even
Yeah.
more so. Just
Man, we're
thinking
getting
about
heavy
that,
early.
like, how it feels to be adopted, and like
Mhm.
the fact that we're adopted as sons and daughters into God's
Absolutely.
kingdom is like a very real thing. That you take on the name, you take on everything that Jesus is, just like you did with the family. So I think, that's pretty admirable and pretty cool, though.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you for being vulnerable right off
Yeah.
the bat. I know this was not the direction we
No.
were in,
We weren't.
but this is what makes our show so
Yep.
fun. So
We kind of fly by the seat of our pants sometimes,
just
and
a bit.
Yep. Yeah, I was extremely and nobody grew up in a perfect household, but
Sure.
I always knew my parents loved me. Was raised in church and taught. I can remember my mom. The first thing I remember her telling me is a story about how I became adopted, and how she prayed, and how she asked God to bring her, a baby, and I was adopted as an infant. And I still remember that. And somewhere around here, I've got that. My mom used to tell me that story when I was old enough to remember, she started telling me that when I was like 2 years old, telling me that story, so I'd always be in the back of my mind.
Sure.
And then probably 10 years ago, I said, "Can you write that down for me so I have it?" And it's pretty cool.
Cool.
So
That is awesome.
Excellent.
and thankfully my mother, who just turned 93, is still alive. So
Wow.
Dad, I lost Dad when I was 21, but he had a huge impact in my life. And we talk about, sometimes I talk about, which is kind of stupid, about how passionate I'm about pro wrestling, but some of my most memorable times were with my dad when we went to wrestling matches. So
there it is, right
yeah.
there.
So
You know what? My stepdad, huge into wrestling.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, I remember going to things and seeing Hacksaw Jim Duncan and
Oh!
oh man, that was so
Still
great.
carries
And
around
oh
a 2x4.
my gosh, such good stuff. Such good stuff. I wish I'd stuck with it because now with McAfee, I'm getting reinterested in it.
Yeah,
And,
sure.
You gonna come to the AEW pay-per-view at Casey's home court?
Yeah, as long as he's paying.
Oh yeah, when is that
Well,
again?
that is a week from Saturday.
Oh, I should.
Oh man.
Is that gonna work?
This week?
No, week from Saturday.
Oh no, I think I'm in St. Louis.
What?
Well, we're gonna have a watch party.
So since we
Somewhere
brought that up, we need the promo.
Yeah.
So I guess a couple weeks ago, I've seen clips of it where MJF is out in the ring and he's talking all kinds of smack. So Moxley comes in and puts a double arm DDT on him, and so then the next week, MJF has got all his entourage around him and his attorney, and he's trying to entice Moxley to sign a contract that he won't use the double arm DDT against him in the match. And of course, MJF is standing up in the camera with a walker, and he's got the neck collar on, and he's sitting there going, "Just sign it! Just sign it! I dare you to just sign it!" It's classic!
He's the bomb.
It's classic!
I'm gonna try to watch that somehow. We'll see.
It was on last Sunday, I think,
Okay.
or Saturday, because they had it on Saturday night. And then you know that Cody lost the title
To
Brody Lee.
Brody Lee.
Mhm.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me a little bit. I think that whole thing will move around, and I think
Probably, and it should.
Yeah, I think the AEW title will stay on somebody like that person for a while.
Well, I kind of agree with you a little bit what you said last week about I haven't really lost interest in Moxley because I like him. He reminds me so much of Terry Funk, and I like him. But I just don't. I mean, I like MJF's character, and I think he's entertaining. But I don't know if I want the title on him because I never have liked it on a heel very long. Just it makes me mad.
Yeah, it does. I get it, but I think
Probably one of the reasons I don't like Ric Flair.
but yeah, I mean that's why.
It makes you want to watch though.
Yeah, but that's why I love Triple H back in the day, or
Yeah.
now. Back then, I hated Triple H because
Yeah, I
he
don't
always
like it.
had the title.
I never have liked him.
Yeah. Anyway,
I have a problem with promoters and bookers who put the title on themselves.
but I mean, Triple H wasn't a booker until now, until
He's been a booker for a while.
yeah. Anyway,
I don't know.
we're losing all the people.
Yeah, well, let's get them back. So we talked about tonight, our show. Is everybody prepared? I hope everybody did a little homework.
A little bit.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
I know that Kyle.
It's always
up here.
there.
So what we talked about last week, there is going to be a college football season. It appears. There's things that change every day, just like NBA trying to figure out a way not to play the rest of the season. And I'm not saying they're not justified, but I do think there's a better way to go about it.
Did
But-
They're
They're going to play,
Yeah, okay, I thought so.
but
I
No, I don't think we can really say anything until we're putting those shoes in.
I know.
That's just
I know. But if you're going to do that, that's fine, but you're not getting paid.
Well, okay, so let's think about that for a second. If we're gonna go down that road, it's like, okay, we obviously don't want riots in the street. We want peaceful protests, and so you can't say, okay, then I want you to peacefully protest in this way, when the culture of the NBA is the leading culture in the black community.
sports. Yeah.
when it comes to the black community, NBA leads the way. So they're absolutely within the rights, and as they should. So that's where I'll disagree on it. I don't think there is a quote-unquote right way, because any protest that's ever happened or silent protest has always come under wraps or come under like, we don't like that you did that.
So
it's uncomfortable.
you think it's okay? And of course, I don't want to try to. I'm playing a little bit of devil's advocate here.
Sure.
Do you think it's okay to hold somebody hostage that has no responsibility to that?
So I think that it's a little bit that we knew that this was going to happen. To me, if something like this were to happen while they were in the bubble, obviously, to the NBA players, this is the most important issue to them on the table.
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
why it's on the court.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, it's
so.
But there you go. I mean, you're already showing your support with your jerseys and on the court and everything else. Why do you feel like you have? And I hope I don't get a barrage of people not agreeing with me. If you do, that you're entitled to it. But you're holding people who had nothing to do with it hostage.
Yeah, but then again, they've got a tremendous platform.
Yeah.
And they're using it.
Yeah.
You could argue right now that they're doing more for the black community and for conversations to be started than politicians are right now.
I would agree.
And so,
I mean, and no, professional sports as a whole. I mean, it's happening in the NFL. It's happening in Major League Baseball. I mean, the NBA is leading the way for sure.
But people respect people more than people respect their NBA players and their athletes more than they do politicians. It's like well known that it's like they trust them more, so we're gonna listen to them. And Tom's right, because nothing's changing. Nothing has changed. This is a nightmare that we keep waking up into, is that we just did this in March or April. And so to me, I think it's completely justified. And I know it doesn't seem like it's one or the other, but like we have to see some amount. And I think the best way that I heard it is like, okay, in the time that you were going to spend watching the game, think about it and take a step back and maybe have some empathy and compassion.
You think this was pre-planned?
No.
You think
no, what it was is they saw that now this latest incident with this gentleman who, I mean, if you don't know what happened, go look it up.
Yeah.
But it wasn't getting the attention that they thought was due. And so they said, we've got a platform, watch this sort of deal. I mean, not necessarily watch this, but they're going to make a stand. And it's for what they believe in. And that's what the
I'm
NBA,
okay with that.
The NBA right now has embraced that. And that's really, the bubble is microcosm. Is that the right word? I don't know. I'm not good with words.
Yeah.
It's a big word. It makes me sound like...
It's a sample.
Anyway,
it's a sample.
you're a teacher. You should... Anyway, but yeah. So there's that.
Yeah. Are you saying it's just a microcosm of the black community itself? Or
No. Of the movement that's going on. That was started with the whole George Floyd and all that. That whole, this giant, I mean, it is, aside from COVID, this is it.
And it's diplomatic, it's peaceful, it's what they want the black community, from what I understand and from conversation.
Well, they're doing it peacefully.
That is what, like, that's the model of how they want to have diplomacy throughout this.
I wish they would speak out more on like the riots and whatnot.
Yeah,
because they have a tremendous voice
sure.
and just say stop it,
and again,
stop it.
You say 100, or I've said 100 times over, or try to explain it to people. Riots are it's the language of the unheard, and that's what Martin Luther King said. So, I mean, I obviously lean a different politically than a lot of people around here. And that's okay.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and Tom says we have to fight for social justice. No matter the gender, race, sexual identity, social status, it's what the U.S. is about. They have a platform that hits greater amount of people.
Don't disagree.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Tom
Don't
said
disagree.
It right there.
Money, Tom,
they
money.
have the right now. Like I have kind of put my head in the sand on both of these conventions the past couple of weeks.
No, I haven't even.
It's a nightmare right
Yeah.
now.
Oh,
We're living in a nightmare. So, and honestly, y'all, I mean, it was hard for me to even think about sports because I do believe in this idea of social justice. I have, I would say 10% of my students that walk in the classroom are of a different race or ethnicity. And, it hit home in a different way. It's like, man, I got to love these people the right way, and I have to check myself. Am I treating anybody differently or have these biases because they're African American or what have you? And so it did become, a real, hit home for me this week. And Kenny Smith yesterday.
I didn't care for that.
Yeah. I mean, but you can't disagree. I mean, you may not care for it, but it was the right thing that he felt to do in solidarity with the players, and I thought it was incredible.
And what was that? I missed.
He walked off the show.
He walked off the show. He turned off his mic and said, "In solidarity with the players, I don't feel like I should be here right now."
Okay.
And so,
I mean, that's just the culture we're living right now. I mean, well, culture, that's not the right word, but that's what's happening. And you know what? It's creating these conversations.
Yeah.
And that is good.
Yeah.
The conversations are, but I just, it's kind of like,
methodology can be debated.
15, 20 years ago when, are having Academy Awards or the Oscars or whatever, and some filmmaker gets up there and starts stating political opinions during the middle of an award show, I think is wrong.
But
I mean, he's entitled to his opinion, but to use that platform when that's not what that's for is in my opinion should be done differently.
Well, but here's the thing: is sports. If people want politics out of sports at some level, now of course we watch it for the entertainment value,
right?
But go back to Jesse Owens.
Yeah.
Go back to all of these political statements that have been made through sports. So to say that sports have always been separate from politics, while it does take a break from politics a lot of the time, they've always spoken politics. Think of the Michael Jordan things as well about him speaking politics, and in his day, it's always going to be a thing, and it's why these players are so upset is because they've been told to shut up and dribble.
Yeah.
And so to tell them to be silent and have so many of these reporters tell them those literal words to shut up and dribble, it's your job to do that. Of course they're not going to be silent. So yeah.
I mean, we could talk about this all day, but it's just like in your job. You're not expected or encouraged to use or speak out on your political agenda while you're working. And these people are working. So it's like, I mean, I don't have a job where I can, so I can vocally go to people and say, this is what my political agenda is, or this is. So why is it that an entertainer or an athlete has feels like they have the right to do that while they're playing or to hold a game up in hostage because of your belief?
Because of what Tom just said, they realize that the moment is more powerful
maybe
now than ever.
But I just don't agree with the method.
Yeah, the methodology is up for debate, but it's, look at this. I mean, here we are 30 minutes into a show, and we are talking about it.
Yeah.
And that's something that
me,
is good that's coming out of it regardless.
Yeah.
To me, that's the story in sports right now. So we could talk about college football all we want, but this is the story to me. And so I think that's the point, is that there is a dialogue that I understand what you're saying, Dan. I get it. To some point, but 2020 is crazy. It's all backwards. So
a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a little crazy.
So I get it.
Well, we got double hurricanes. We got come on, what's
sure.
next week? Murder hornets.
And that is true. I think Tom and I are on the same page here for sure, standing for political.
I'm not. I mean, I totally agree with standing for what is right. I just think the method is just because you have somebody captive that you take that political agenda and use it and hold it hostage. I just don't agree with it. Whether maybe that's the way we're headed and that's the way that everybody's okay with it. I'm kind of have this thought of, if I used to work for a guy who every time he got a microphone, he had to use his political agenda for it. And I thought that was always, and he had people that were paying customers who he was holding hostage. If you want to get what I have, you have to listen to me.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
I just don't think that's fair to. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I don't think it's fair to say, because, like I said before, they're darned if they do and darned if they don't. If they
Sure.
do it another way,
Sure.
If
Yeah.
whatever way you prefer.
Yeah.
If these athletes decide to do something, they're gonna be criticized for it. So if they do another method or whatever, they're still gonna be criticized. If they kneel during the national anthem, they're criticized
Yep.
for it. If they do if they speak out, it's told to shut up and dribble. So they do need to stand up.
But they are. They've got it on the court. They've got it on their jerseys. They've got it on everything.
But nothing's changed.
Well, maybe not. But there's
Nothing's changed.
to hold a game hostage because of it is just, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't think if you're gonna go home and not play the rest of the season, then you shouldn't get paid for it.
No, they
Just
wouldn't.
like if we didn't like what was going on in our job and we went home, we wouldn't get paid.
Nobody's saying that they aren't. They
Okay.
They know that. They know that.
But there was a threat that they might not play the rest of the season.
Well,
what I heard yesterday.
that was LeBron James and the Clippers.
Yeah.
There was really two people. I heard there was two people.
Yeah.
One from each team. One being LeBron, the biggest name in NBA.
Biggest name in sports, probably.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Pretty close.
Tom Brady. Anyway.
Who?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever.
No, but
Staubach.
you're
Not
right.
for a while.
Yeah. So I see what you're saying, but again, we're not. The reason why you're saying it is like you just see these results over and over again.
Yeah.
In craziness, and so it's just I don't know.
How much is it amplified because of our condition, our situation right now with the COVID?
Oh, some of it. Everybody's frustrated.
No, I'm talking about so many people are still just stuck at home.
Yeah,
and
that's what I mean.
All they've got to do is watch
Sure.
TV. I don't know. I mean, it's a big deal regardless.
I mean, think about
I just
this.
wonder.
So again, going back to this spiritually, because I think that's part of our show is like what people don't realize is like when it talks about labor pangs in the Bible, and that as we get closer to the day that the Lord is coming, these labor pangs are going to intensify and come more frequent.
Right.
2020 is that right now, is that we're seeing kind of creation shout out and saying this isn't right.
You know what?
And it's people, and so it's just and I know sometimes we just simplify it and just say it's thrown under the bus of sin, and I think that there's some truth to that, but I think that this is when, for me, and I look at America, and you think about kind of, we've gone off the rails no matter what political party you believe in. Like, it's almost like the collective sin of the people is like the Lord's kind of giving us what we deserve in some respect. If you look at, and God did that so many times in the Old Testament.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
It wasn't that there weren't righteous people on the earth. It was just the collective sin of the people just going off the rails. And we've seen that happen in the past 5 years and beyond, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So those are just that's my 2 cents about it. But
I mean, it's good discussion. Tom, I certainly appreciate you posting your
Good stuff. Good
your
stuff.
points. And but please, anybody out there, keep it clean. But we appreciate whatever comments you have, and it may create more debate on our end. But that's why we're here.
Yep.
So, all right. So, can we go? Can we
Wow.
get on with what we're going to talk about today?
So the intro is done. Let's get to the show.
no, but I think you're right. But like I said, this is, to me, it was almost conflicting of like, are we just going to skip over it? Because I don't think that's the right thing to do either. I think that it needed to be spoken about
Absolutely.
at some level. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. So, and he said, I love the discussion and debate, guys. It is what you are doing right now that will make a difference. Keep it up.
Oh, thanks, brother.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, and I think that's how I've kind of ignored it with my students. I've had them face to face, and tomorrow's Friday. It's the end of the week. It might be something that I'm just gonna, hey, how you feeling, y'all? One thing right now that I've noticed is that kids are hurting. Our society's hurting right now. Kids are broken. You can look on their face, their eyeballs. You can see it, and so we just need prayer for our people right now. So that's the last thing I'll say about that, and we'll talk about college football.
College football.
Yep.
Okay, there we go. So supposedly we're going to have a college football season.
Supposedly.
So there are going to be 3 conferences playing ball that are major conferences. I don't know what's going on with the AACs and the MACs and all those other conferences, but we do know there are 3 major of the Power Fives. There are 3 conferences: the ACC, the SEC, and the Big 12. So I gave you guys a homework assignment last week. Let's pick the top 8 from those 3 conferences, and let's kind of do a playoff scenario and see, is it going to be any different than with SEC and the ACC in it? The teams are going to be the same no matter what, I would think. The big caveat there is what's the Big 12 going to do?
Yeah.
Because it knocks out Michigan, Ohio State.
Oh, yeah.
Teams
some big teams.
Illinois.
What?
Well, they were a contender.
Iowa.
Minnesota, which I think would have been a top 10 contender this year. They were last year a top 10 team.
Yeah.
So
now you got the ACC, the Big 12, and the SEC. So Syracuse.
So here's my question, though. Here's my question. Before Casey's going nuts.
You've lost your mind.
Man. Here's my question. So are we getting 2 from each conference and then 2 wild cards? How are they going to do this?
They're not. They are not. I'm doing it.
Yeah, that's what you're doing. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're going to do this because have they decided it? Are they going to? Are we
going to? There's.
What are we going to? Do they know?
This isn't going to happen. Like, this is a pipe dream.
Well, but
we can pipe dream if you want.
Well, what do you mean it's not going to happen? If they all, let's just say they all finish the season.
Yeah.
Are we going to have the a BCS or whatever they call it now, college football 14 playoff?
I think that they're just trying to.
But let's say we do.
Let's say we do. I think that there would be some sort
They're
of
not going to pass
I think it'd be
on the
a
money.
14.
That's what I'm saying.
They will. If this happens, there will be a playoff.
And you're not going to have bowl games. So my thinking is,
well, that'll be the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. You have an 18 playoff because you no longer have the bowl team, so you can do this. You can pull this off.
That's where I got the 2 from each conference.
Yeah.
I know it's weird. It's not the standard, but 2 from each conference, and then the other top 2.
Yeah, so you would have your at large kind of the two teams that would face off in the
okay.
Because otherwise you're going to end up with a pile of SEC teams.
Yeah, that's true.
Clemson and OU.
No, like legit. Like I was thinking, I'm like, if you're doing it that way, you're gonna get Florida and Georgia.
Oh yeah.
And LSU and
Auburn
and Alabama.
And
so
for sure
5, and then you're left with 3 other teams. And so that's
Clemson
and OU and Oklahoma State. Like there it is, yeah. So I kind of like where Josh is headed.
So 2, 2,
2, and then
2 at large.
2 at large. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's pick our at-large teams first.
Wait a second. I want to play this out too.
Okay.
Let's determine a champion as well.
Yeah.
Okay. I've got it right here. Are you ready?
Yeah. Put it here where I can see it.
Where you can see it? You can't see it.
And then I'm going to go first.
Okay, let's do that. Put it right here so you can see it.
Come on.
There, I love it.
Blank.
We're gonna have to have it by consensus here or unanimous. So let's all pick our at-large teams.
Okay. Well.
So you're gonna have 2 at-large teams.
Okay. Oh, the at-large. You're going at-large, not Okay.
You said 2, 2, and 2, right?
Yeah, but you're starting with the at-large?
Yes.
You're not going to do the 2 from each?
No.
Okay, the
Okay,
at-large
okay,
is
so I
going
gotta
to
Do
be...
you think
about
we need to
this.
go the other way?
I think we need to go the other way.
Okay, let's go the other way.
Yeah.
So 2 from the Big 12.
That's
and-
going to
and We're going to
be...
do those last.
Okay.
Okay.
And
well,
then 2 from the SEC, which
Okay.
we'll do second to last. And then we'll have 2 from the ACC. We'll do first.
Okay.
So is anybody in non-agreement that Clemson's not in
Oh,
the
Clemson.
2?
Well, yeah, they're...
Yeah. So ACC, Clemson, yeah, they're absolutely.
All right, so who is your second team out of the ACC?
I wasn't really.
Hey, who's Notre Dame playing with?
The ACC.
Exactly.
See, I was.
It's a risky one.
And
but
I didn't even
kinda
throw them
wanna
in there,
Say it. I
but that's a
kind of
good
want to
one.
say it.
But they're playing the ACC schedule this
yeah,
year.
Yeah, I kind of want to say.
But are
they're
they
the other
supposed to
one.
be any good?
No,
I don't know.
they haven't been.
But the
Well,
ACC's.
they have kind of.
The ACC's kind of struggling right now, right?
Yeah.
Well, we got in the ACC. We got
so-
Clemson.
At
We got
Florida
Florida
State.
State.
You've got Louisville, which will be a good team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got North Carolina, which will be a decent team.
Eh, not in contention.
Like-
No.
yeah.
Some
Maybe.
places got them this in the whatever they're the opposite. They're in the opposite division of Clemson, and some people have them in winning that other division.
So what about? I wasn't really.
Though some
joking
people aren't very smart.
that much about Syracuse because I think Syracuse has got a really good defense.
I don't see it.
But
Wow, you're putting the words. Okay.
no, I won't. I think.
I mean,
The
you
one
might
I-
as well say Michigan's going to be in there then. not
Michigan's
even
in the
playing.
Big, they're in the they're in the
I
Big
know.
Ten. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Gosh, I don't know. Miami.
I don't think they're going to be very good either.
No, they're irrelevant.
No, I think Notre Dame is it.
You think so?
I think so.
I kind of like it.
I
Okay.
think Notre Dame.
I don't
if they're
know.
playing
I
in the
don't-
ACC
What's Florida
is it.
State looking like? I mean, have they done anything?
Last year they were terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, you've got Notre Dame and Clemson.
Notre Dame, Clemson. I think that's pretty close
That's-
to me.
Yeah.
I had definitely Clemson. I was kind of up in the air, but I like that Notre Dame. I'm going Notre Dame.
Okay. Well, Clemson's going to win the division. I don't think there's any.
Well,
I don't think
yeah.
there's any.
Sure.
All right. I'm not totally sold on Notre Dame, but I don't see another choice other than Florida State.
Well,
Just
and
because it's
that's-
Florida State.
Yeah. And you know what? This is going to be wild. It's going to be the war of attrition
Yeah.
if this COVID thing keeps up.
Yeah.
I mean, the NFL's having great success. Obviously, the NBA's doing wonderful with it, but the college environment, I don't know.
Not going so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alabama.
Alabama
Yeah.
has over 600 students with COVID right now.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's crazy.
Not going to happen. But anyway, we're going to keep going.
So yeah, I mean, there's the COVID factor,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm going Clemson, Notre Dame.
Okay. I'm not. I'll go along with it just to
Who'd
move
you-
forward.
Well, you didn't go 2-2-2, did you?
No, but I
want to
had.
hear your list, no matter what. At least at the end, maybe.
Yeah,
Or
okay.
Let's do it at the end.
Okay.
Stay on this 2-2-2
Okay.
thing.
All right. So Clemson, Notre Dame in the ACC.
Yep.
Okay. Moving forward.
Yep.
All right. So SEC.
Alabama, Auburn.
Bama, Georgia.
I know that. Georgia was
Bama and Georgia.
Georgia was my honest pick, but they had the Auburn coach on McAfee's show, and I was, it got me hyped
Good
up.
friend of our
Gotcha.
pastor, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gus.
yeah.
Gus
Malzahn.
Malzahn.
Gus Malzahn.
Good dude. Good.
He's
dude.
crazy.
He is.
Yes, but he's a good dude.
Yep.
Does anyone disagree that Alabama won't be there?
Nope.
Nope.
Or yeah, okay. So Alabama, and then you had who? Alabama and who?
Georgia.
Georgia.
You both had Georgia.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm going to be
I
overruled.
was trying. I wanted to be funny and go Alabama, Auburn.
I actually
but,
had.
but I don't. That doesn't work.
I actually had. I'm gonna go. I'll go ahead and agree with that because they were in my final 8. So I'll go ahead and agree because you guys overruled me. But
That's what
I'm
we do.
okay with that.
We strong arm this guy.
Yeah. Well, sometimes. All right.
Doctor.
So Big 12.
OU.
OU, OSU.
You think OSU?
Yes, I think they're very good this year.
I hope so.
Yep.
I hope so.
I'm gonna agree.
I was going there as
I
well.
was going OSU. So we're all good there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unanimous.
Okay, so our top 6 teams. So we need to kind of rank them before we get our at-large, I think, because the at-large would be 7 and 8, right?
Correct.
So
Okay, Clemson, Wait a
This is
second,
where we're
what
going to get. This
what
is
about
where
LSU? I mean, are
they've
they
lost
anything?
everybody.
To me, my at large is LSU in Florida.
Yeah, I don't agree, and I'll tell you why. You're going to see the true Ed Orgeron because he doesn't have a quarterback.
Yeah, but they are reloading.
Trust me.
They are reloading.
Trust me. I know more than you know here.
Wow.
Dropping dimes.
I mean,
Wow.
maybe. Shot through the heart. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
That was brutal.
All right.
There's
Why
no
do you
friends
think
in
that
here,
Coach
no love
O's
lost.
is going to collapse?
Because he always has his
Oh.
history.
No, but his history is that he just won a national
Yeah, I was gonna
championship.
say.
and
One
did not
game, one
collapse.
season.
Well,
So you're calling him Gene Chizik.
Yep.
the
Yikes.
one-hit wonder.
Okay. Okay, I see how it is.
I think the Burrow loss is going to be.
It's going to be tough,
yeah.
but it's LSU. They still have.
Okay, here's a question: is Burrow starting in
Yeah,
Cincy?
100%.
Oh, of course.
How's his first year go?
It's going to be rough.
You think he transitions?
I think he'll be
quickly?
great. I think he'll be.
I-
Is he going to be Carson Palmer?
I think that he'll
Andy
be.
Dalton?
I think he'll have similar stats without the rushing yards to Kyler Murray last year. Kyler Murray had a pretty decent year. He's got some weapons, I think.
Do
Who?
AJ
AJ
Green,
Green. Yeah.
did they import all of the?
Tyler Boyd.
Did they import all of the Chiefs' offensive line
They
and
drafted. They drafted a top wide receiver. They drafted. And they have
Yeah.
Joe Mixon.
What was
who
their record
came
last
on
year?
Strong.
Joe Mixon.
What's
Joe
the
Mixon
record?
came on strong last
what's the
year.
record?
Yeah.
Not good, but they
Like
have Joe
2-14.
They did improve. I mean, you
You
can't.
have to.
They
admit that.
improved.
Proof
Yeah,
from
well-
what?
Well,
They were
from-
2-14
Exactly.
or 3-13.
I mean, it's pretty easy to say they definitely improved.
He's
in
going
the
to
draft.
struggle.
Yeah. You know, I
like Joe Burrow.
I agree.
I hope
because-
he's successful.
Because I'm going to go back to Pat McAfee and say that Cincinnati does not care about their football team. They don't have an indoor facility for crying out loud.
They have a
is
beautiful
brutal.
stadium.
That
though.
is brutal.
They have a
that
beautiful
don't have
stadium.
one.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, come on.
Next
man.
thing you know, we're going to have a boycott because not all the NFL teams have an indoor stadium.
Oh, boy.
It's coming.
No.
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 John Ross.
Wow. Okay, so anyway, that was a little preview for
So-
next week, by the way.
Ugh, brutal.
NFL.
NFL, yes,
prediction
our
next
NFL
week.
preview show next week.
Holy cow, we're 50 minutes into this thing.
So,
Let's rock. Okay, number one.
Number one.
Clemson or Bama?
I'm going to Clemson.
I'm going Clemson. They got
Okay.
their old boy.
I
long
got
hair.
outvoted.
Alabama's
Why can I not
2.
remember his name?
Alabama's 2.
Wait, what's the quarterback for Clemson? I can't remember his name.
Trevor Lawrence.
There we go.
Yeah. And then I do think we need to have one of the 2 teams out of the 6 that we just picked in the top 6. Well, we already decided that, but who's number 3 out of the 3 that 2 that are left?
Question here.
You got OSU, Georgia.
We do have a question.
Yeah.
Georgia.
We've got to at least look at this question.
Okay, what is it?
Tom piped in, and he's earned the right to be heard.
Yeah.
But will the BCS contract allow more than 4? I say yes, absolutely, because this is such
It has to.
an anomaly of a year. I mean, for crying
Yeah.
out loud, we've got 2 of the major conferences not even playing, or at least delaying.
Is it
now.
even a BCS anymore, though?
No,
It's
but
it's,
I see what he's saying.
this is the
It's
college
just
college
a-
playoff.
It's just a college football.
College football playoff.
Yeah.
I think it has to void it just because you don't have the teams that normally would be available for
Or
it.
do you put an asterisk on the trophy? Then?
So here's what I'm saying, Tom. In the world of the Faithletic podcast, yes, we can break the contract.
Yeah.
It just happened. It just got
Yeah.
real.
See, our show has more clout than you thought it had because
Yep.
we just abolished the 14
Bam.
playoff system.
We've got
Nice. We
we've
did
got
it.
Jesus.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. So
Well, Jesus doesn't care about football.
Yeah. Well.
He cares about the people playing football. but I don't
Well,
think he
if
cares
you
about
ask
football.
people in Alabama, he sure does.
Yeah.
Roll
right.
roll tide.
So who's 3?
Georgia.
So we got Clemson, then Alabama, then
How about they say it's OU?
no. Well,
Spencer Rattler do it for you.
I'm gonna
what's
say
the
he's
OU schedule gonna be?
Saint Big 12.
Just all Big
You
12.
can play all Big 12. You got Missouri State, and you don't really have any other because everybody else was been canceled.
Maybe they'll play Montana
So they'll
State.
probably go. They could go undefeated. pretty.
They got
easily.
9 conference games, right, and one
I can agree.
non-conference.
I'll agree with OU, and I think Georgia, the SEC will beat each other up.
It's going to be like last year.
So
OU 3.
I'd say OU 3, Georgia 4.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
go there.
All right, and then the other 2 teams will be OSU and
Notre Dame. I'll put Notre Dame OSU.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that, but I'll go with it.
I kind of want to put OSU forward of Notre Dame.
All right, who is our 2? Well, you got outvoted because we're
okay.
both. So, who's our at-large teams? So let me throw some teams out there. Let's go yes or no, and then we'll go from there. Okay. So Texas.
No.
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Iowa State.
No.
Florida State.
No.
Louisville.
No.
Oh, you ain't got anybody left. LSU.
Yep.
Well, I don't agree, but I get outvoted.
Yes.
Florida.
Yep.
Tennessee.
Gonna have a good year, but
No.
Auburn.
Nope.
No. Oh, I'm on
All right, I got one. I'm gonna throw you here. You got to think about it.
I got. Oh man, I tell you.
Texas A&M.
Nope.
No.
No, it's clean cut Florida and LSU to me. Like maybe you could talk about Auburn.
I'm gonna say Auburn and LSU.
Florida was a great young team last year. Came on strong.
Yeah.
I mean,
pretty valid.
Florida is really
Does
good.
Florida challenge Georgia then?
Yes, absolutely.
But I mean, like for the Georgia
sure,
spot,
yeah. It's hard for me
4?
not to think that. I mean, I think Florida is so strong this year that they could compete for that top 2.
Who?
In Florida. They were.
Can you pull our schedule up?
Yeah, sure.
Florida's schedule.
Definitely not Arkansas. Let's just say that.
What?
Oh no! I hope Brian's not listening. Woo pig. Arkansas.
Dan's alma mater
Big
for
Suey.
1 year.
1 year.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I have the. I had the pleasure of working under Eddie Sutton when he was the basketball coach,
How about that?
and Lou Holtz was the football coach.
And
my
let me tell you what, guys.
Hey,
What?
watch what you say about Lou.
Hey,
I love
Lou's
Lou.
a good guy.
Yeah, let me tell you
I
something.
can't talk like this. Let me tell you what about these Gators. I guarantee the best team in all the land.
Thought we already
It's
did.
pretty solid. I'm
That's
sorry.
pretty good. That's pretty good.
You just aged yourself, by the way. You're in a
That was really good.
Florida Gators.
We're having
I've
fun.
worked on that one for a little bit.
That's pretty good.
The Florida Gators.
Kind of sound like a little bit of Hulk Hogan and Dusty Rhodes all
You
rolled
gotta-
into one.
You gotta throw
Uh,
Notre Dame.
So, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish are the best team in all the land. You better believe it, Mark May. So, Florida plays Mississippi.
Where are we at? I need. Where are they at?
At Mississippi. I
Okay.
don't miss.
And who? Where is Mike Leach?
Is
Is he at Mississippi State or
he's at
Mississippi?
Mississippi State.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Lane Kiffin.
He's gonna shake up. He's gonna shake up the SEC. Just get ready for it.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It's gonna get
Ole
interesting.
Miss. So they play Ole Miss at Ole Miss. They play South Carolina in Gainesville.
Okay.
They play at Texas A&M. They play versus LSU.
Ooh,
Where?
They gotta go to LSU?
In Gainesville.
Okay.
Mm.
They play Missouri at Florida, and then they play Georgia at Georgia,
That's a tough
and then they
one.
play Arkansas at
You know what?
Florida.
That's-
Doesn't matter where that game's played.
That's going to determine right there that Georgia game
Yeah, it
on
could,
whether who's going to be that 4 and who's going to be the at large.
but they also have Vandy. They have Vanderbilt.
Yeah, that's easy.
They have Kentucky and they have Tennessee. So they have.
come on.
Kentucky can shake some
I
stuff up.
understand. Yeah, they can, but they.
Where is Tennessee?
Tennessee is at Florida or neutral. It might be
Oh,
the
okay.
neutral site.
Oh no.
The world's largest cocktail party.
Yeah. No, that's Georgia,
That's
Florida.
Georgia, Florida.
Florida.
Yeah.
Huh.
Or is that? No, clean old fashioned hate is Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we were all in agreement or were we?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. Were
Today
we?
we are. Why not? We've got our top 6, 7, and 8.
So your number one, who would be your number one at large? Number one at large.
Florida.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah, Florida.
Florida's
Florida's going to contend for that number 4, I think.
Okay,
but
so let's put Florida at 7.
It's a weaker schedule too.
Okay, so all right, so this one I'm gonna so LSU's left. Okay.
does Louisville come into the conversation at all? You were pretty high on Louisville.
I thought they would be probably one of the better teams in the ACC, but I didn't think they were going to be better than.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Sure.
LSU left. We got LSU. Let's say Auburn,
Ooh.
Texas A&M. Let's put Louisville in there.
I'm saying Auburn.
And
I'm saying Auburn.
nobody agreed with that nobody in the Big 12 is going to be in that ranking other than OSU. So if OSU isn't or OU isn't the top 2, who's your third choice or your second choice?
TCU. Wait. What?
So let's say one of those 2 teams falter.
Okay.
Who comes in behind them? Because you got to have 2 teams.
Probably
West Virginia?
TCU or Iowa State.
Ooh, I forgot about Iowa State.
Brock Purdy's still there.
I still like Iowa State.
Man, they might make an appearance. That would be cool. I mean, why not? It's the COVID Cup.
I actually think, yeah, I'd probably go with that. All right, so.
But I don't think.
Yeah,
they
but
get
I
it.
mean,
All right, so your number 1, number 2 is who?
For
At large. Your number
I'm
1 was Florida.
I'm going Florida, Auburn.
Okay. Kyle?
Florida, LSU.
So I got to be the tiebreaker here.
I think Burrow's
Because I could pick a
loss is-
third one and we'd be
Well, pick
back
a
to
third
square
What the
one.
heck?
No,
Well, we can debate it.
I'm gonna go with my gut, Auburn.
Okay.
So there we go.
I like your pick.
All right. Well, I just think LSU's not going to be as good. That's all I'm saying.
They did lose everybody.
Yeah, I just don't think they're going to be any good. So, or that good. All right. So in the first round, we have Clemson playing Auburn.
Clemson.
In the second round, in the first round, we also have Alabama playing Florida. And then we have Oklahoma
That one might be a good game.
playing. Oh, that can't work out. So you got OSU and OU playing each other in the first round.
Why not?
Okay.
That'd be cool. That'd be wild.
So OU wins in the regular season. OSU beats them in the rematch, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bedlam
And then
Part
you got
2.
Georgia against Notre Dame. So,
Georgia.
all right. So first game, Clemson, Auburn. Who wins?
Clemson.
Okay.
Clemson.
No doubt.
All right. In the first round, Auburn against Florida. Who wins?
I'm going to say Florida.
Florida.
Really?
Yep.
That's an upset. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
OU, OSU?
No, you said Auburn. It's Alabama, Florida.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh wow. I was like, wait, what's going
Alabama,
on?
Florida. I'm
Nick Saban. Alabama.
Yeah, I'll take Bama.
So it's Alabama. Yeah, cross Florida.
OSU, OU.
OSU.
You think? Okay. Well,
In one game?
why not? Let's
Why
have
not?
fun with
They
it.
lost them in the regular season. They beat them, and then Georgia, Notre Dame.
Georgia.
Georgia.
All right, so that means that Clemson plays OSU,
Sorry.
Yep.
and
Well,
Alabama
the result of
plays
That is
Georgia.
what we call a boat race. And
Alabama
it's
versus Georgia.
Oh boy, that's.
So you both are saying Clemson against OSU.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's-
Just for, I mean, I don't
Clemson's winning
overrule
it all
you guys,
this
but
year.
I'm gonna pick OSU, but that doesn't matter in this state. So then you got Alabama against Georgia in the other semifinal.
that would be a good game.
I'm saying Georgia this year.
Really?
Georgia against Clemson, I'd agree with you. So we got Clemson against Georgia in the national championship game.
I think Clemson wins with Trevor Lawrence this year.
Oh yeah. I had them pegged to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Now, the Final Four that we all picked together was Clemson, OSU, Alabama, and Georgia.
That'd be pretty sweet.
You know what Final Four I picked before we did this today?
That.
Alabama, Georgia, OSU, Clemson.
Wow.
Same scenario.
Wow. Wow. Hey, that's pretty impressive right
That
there.
is amazing. Well, hey, we don't need a season now, right?
Done.
We've solved it. Just give Lawrence the cup, and we're good.
Wow.
That's That's funny.
Who wins the Heisman?
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence, yeah. Unless the dude gets hurt, that's the only thing.
Chuba Hubbard.
Depends. And then we'll have the spring champions play each other.
See, and that's
And then
And then they'll open the season up next year with the in 2021.
oh, that would be like
That'd be
crazy.
the true national championship.
That would be awesome.
the
Like the
BCS.
It'd be like the
championship.
Raw versus
That's
versus or no
It'd be the Daytona 500.
SmackDown
No.
versus Raw
no,
championship.
that's pretty standard in soccer.
Yeah.
So they have each country has their own like one and done tournament. So kind of like a March Madness thing that happens throughout, woven into the season. And so that little tournament champion always plays the league champion every year, the first game of the season. So it's like it's called the Community Shield in England, and there's a bunch of other things.
Nice.
The Copa del Rey in Spain, and that was talking soccer.
And we're back.
And we're back.
That was a commercial break.
And we're back.
And we're back.
That's one of my
Y93.
underrated SNL skits.
Oh yeah, we
Of
need
all
your
time.
And we're back.
And we're back. It's usually
Jimmy Fallon.
and Ben Affleck was.
And we're
in the first one.
back.
And we're back. That was
Wow.
great.
Maybe that's going to be my intro for next time. And we're back.
Okay, folks, we're gonna have our commercial timeout.
Oh, that will be fun.
Yep, and then when we come back, by the way, if anybody had any, I don't know if we got anybody left still watching, but since we went on our little
Yeah, but
political discussion,
we're going on YouTube
but
later.
when we come back, the gunslinger is going to do devotion,
It's going to
and
be a quick one.
yeah, that's fine. And then next week we do our pre-NFL show.
That's right.
I am pumped for that.
And we're going to go down and we're going to go all the way to our, I don't know, did you save? I'd have to go back and look at the show. I might go back and watch the show and see how we came out.
Okay. Well,
How we predicted
clearly
the
I
last
picked-
time we did 3 months ago or whenever it was.
Clearly, I picked the Kansas City Chiefs to win the Super
No,
Bowl,
you're
so.
kidding.
And Dan's going to arrive at the, let's see, Dallas.
No, I won't.
Yes, you will.
I mean,
Yeah,
you did a couple weeks ago
Did I?
have them in
I lost to the Chiefs.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
not too
man,
crazy.
come on.
Oh, well, all right. So our commercial timeout will come back. When we come out of the break, if you wouldn't mind, Kyle, tell people how they can find out about our show, and then we'll go to the devotion. Okay, here we are with our commercial timeout. Team Black Mentorship. Find out more about accountability, work ethic, and honesty at Team Black Mentorship. The place where champions train. The place where champions evolve. For more info, go to teamblackmentorship.com. Team Black Mentorship, where iron sharpens iron and one friend sharpens another.
So you can check us out on, which first of all, thank you all for listening tonight. It has been, it's been a wild show.
It's been a fun,
Yeah,
boy, a serious and a fun
serious
show.
fun.
Man, we
It's
have,
been great.
you know
So
what, we just need to cry now.
yeah, sure.
Let's do that.
So you can find us on the Facebook where
The Facebook?
the Facebook.com. So, and it was called the Facebook.
Yes, it was.
first.
Used to be in the beginning.
Until Justin Timberlake told him to
Yeah.
Just drop the.
Yep. So you can check us out on Facebook at Faithletic the podcast, where you can look at our page and you can find us going live every week at this time at 8:00. So you can go there, or you can go to YouTube, where we upload the show every week And you can watch us there and make sure that you subscribe by clicking the bell for alerts. And that's how you can reach us or watch us if you want to rewatch us. And
Hey, big giveaway at 1 million subscribers.
Yeah,
Gonna throw that out
big
there.
time. We'll take it. We'll give away
Dan's house.
Yeah, Dan's.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, good idea.
Hey, if we get 1 million subscribers, you might
Something's going
you might
right. We
be
might
buying
be
a
able
new
to.
house.
Yeah, monetize that. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
So you got
no beer commercials. You can't have that.
Right.
Just can't have that.
Just a bunch of other weird things, like supplements and whatnot.
Yeah, sure.
Muggsy jeans. Hello Fresh.
Yes,
So
Hello
every
Fresh. They were
podcast-
sponsored by Hello Fresh.
Just like every podcast.
Yes. And every 5 minutes it goes to a commercial that they can't click out of.
Yep.
Oh, I hate that.
All right, Josh.
Hey, so devotion time. I almost threw this in the middle. Because almost 40 minutes into our show, we were talking some Jesus. But so I listen to these things called I like this. Okay. Yeah. Let's just let this marinate. Welcome. Okay, no. I listen to these things. It's I can't remember the guy's name now. But it's called 2-minute devotion. You go on YouTube and 2-minute devotion. Not that I'm that lazy, but it's good. Anyway, the one I watched today was talking about waiting. And in Lamentations, I can't remember. I don't have it memorized. I should. It talks about waiting on the Lord, and the key being that that word "waiting" isn't a direct translation. I mean, it doesn't cut clean like that to what we have as waiting. Waiting as originally in the original. What do you call it? Text, the original language, if you will. It actually involved gathering together and submitting your plans to the Lord and prayer and just really a lot of focus towards God. It was not a wasted wait, right? We had that at Trinity. Brian had a sermon, "Don't waste your wait," and it is so important right now with all that's going on. It is so easy to just get completely just buried in it, to where that's all you're thinking about. But, we're called to, as Brian put it, and as the Bible says, to not waste our wait. Because the true meaning of wait, at least biblically, is to gather, to pray, to submit your plans to God. And really that's, at this time, in this craziness, we all need to, at some point, should be daily, I'd submit, we need to sit back and just pray. Send text messages to one another, meet with one another, go to lunch, pray. Let's not waste our wait. And that's what I've got.
Good stuff. Awesome.
Love it.
Awesome. So, in case you're just joining us, you can go back, as Casey just said a few minutes ago, you can go to our YouTube page. I actually don't have season 2 started yet, but we only got, actually, if you count today, 2 episodes in season 2. However, the good news is, you know what it is? What's the good news?
Well, let's
Tell me the good news.
There are 37 recorded episodes in our first season of Faithletic
Wow.
podcast. 37.
That's impressive.
And there are a couple of lost episodes in there due to audio and just, but
Life.
yeah, but just to kind of run down a little bit, we had the famous DG Dave Garrett on one of our episodes. You can go through and look through the different episodes. A couple of weeks ago, we also had Colby Daniels, one of the top radio announcers, podcasters in the Oklahoma City market. We had Tyson Myers, all-world world record holder powerlifter on our show. We had Pastor Brian Mills of Trinity Baptist Church. We've had
Austin Spangler.
We had Austin Spangler, sophomore at Yukon High School. Just a great young man. Also new American record holder.
Yes.
We had
Coach Quinn Woolridge.
We had Quinn Woolridge, head basketball coach at Bethany High School. We've had Jim Davis, the founder of the Good Athlete Project, which in 2 weeks, as long as everything works out, he will be on our show as a guest. Yeah, he actually just held the online nationals, first time it's ever been done, where athletes across the country record their lifts, their squat, bench, or deadlifts, send them in. They had a panel of judges, and they judged their lifts and gave them awards. By the way, Team Black Powerlifting won the online Open National Championship.
Let's go.
First ever.
Big time.
So but anyway, his mission and the unique thing about him is he goes to different schools and colleges all over the world, trying to improve the lifestyles and the training and the diet of kids who may not be, taking care of themselves.
Sure.
And he's transformed teams into state championships and things like that just normally wasn't that good. So anyway, next Thursday night we're going to do our pre-NFL show,
Can't wait.
right down to the Super Bowl, baby. And we can already tell you right now, we know what Kyle's picking.
You know what?
I don't know what you're picking,
Okay.
and you probably really don't know what I'm picking, because if you know me well, who have I not picked since you know me?
The Cowboys.
I have not picked the Cowboys. I might have picked them in the Super Bowl, but I've never picked them to win the Super Bowl.
Well,
I
here
actually
comes
am
the
recalling. I
surprise.
think you had the Saints in
Last year I had the Saints and the Chiefs.
Yes, but I think you also picked the Saints this year, if I'm not
No,
mistaken.
it
Or
was
was
the
it the
Cowboys.
Cowboys?
No, I had the Cowboys and the Chiefs,
With the chef's
Oh
wedding.
boy!
I think.
You know what? Sometimes if you set your expectations low, your expectations will be succeeded.
But if you set them
But if
so
you set 'em
high,
so
Did you come up with that on
Setting-
your own? Or?
you're gonna be very disappointed. So
Huh.
that was beautiful. We should have had some background music for
I am
that.
a poet. You're welcome.
He is. This is a teacher, ladies and gentlemen.
Molding young minds.
Yes,
Molding
with
the
his
minds.
first official week this week, right?
Yeah.
We made it. Pray
Yeah.
for your teachers.
So,
Hey.
yep. And we have been.
That's exciting.
Yep.
And we love it, and we're proud of you.
Yep.
Yes. It's been so fun though. I love it. I love everything about it.
5-6.
5-6.
5, 6, 7, 8. Now here's a story about a song we knew.
Huh. Okay.
All right.
Sure it's not 4? It's 4.
Oh, it's 4.
Oh, it's 4. All right, Faithletic, the podcast. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll try this again right now. I am Coach. I am with
KC.
and
The gunslinger. Just didn't want to jump the gun there.
all at once we are Faithletic.
The podcast.
Oh yeah, let's try it one more time. We are Faithletic, the podcast. Be
Hey,
back
see
next
you
week.
next time.
Bye bye. Love you guys.